My beloved child, in certain stretches of life's current, if you do not pause to listen, the only thing you will hear is collapse, not a savage roar, but the dry, hushed sound of a soul forgotten in the very season I am at work. Do not pass through your appointed season only to regret the one you missed. A gentle knock may be heaven's call. Let me rouse you before the worn paths swallow the last light. You have lived too long inside things you assumed were true yet never tested. You have loved illusions so much that you fear the truth. But when the glossy paint peels and what you thought was firm proves to be dust, your soul must awaken, and that is precisely when I begin to act. Not to destroy you, but to rescue you from the very things you mistook for safety. Do you see? The things you've gripped, as if they were unbreakable, now tremble at the slightest movement of life. The value systems that once built your world are fracturing layer by layer, not because I am angry, but because they were raised on the counterfeit. I need not force them down. Truth has weight enough to crush every falsehood if you will open your eyes. And when those things fall, I do not laugh and I do not scold, I only draw nearer. You chased glittering lights while the true light behind you was forgotten. You named applause, success called emotional gratification joy, and lost sight of the fact that true joy springs from peace in the soul. Yet it is not because you were wrong that I refuse you. It is within your wrong turns that I reveal myself as the one who sets right, restores and rebuilds what is no longer whole. Your soul is not dead. It is simply hungry. Now is the time to be still and hear my voice, not the peal of thunder, but the gentle whisper I keep for you alone amid the world's clamor. When everything else sways, that is your invitation to step into what is steady. When the mirage collapses, it is not because I want you to lose everything, but because I am clearing the way so you can see what is truly worth keeping. I do not come to add to what you want. I come to change what you need. And that time has come. Beloved, be watchful. A shaking has begun, not a disaster from without, but a sifting within the spirit, separating the true from the false, the enduring from the merely ornamental. Those who live by appearances, assumptions, and sensations will not stand. I do not do this to push anyone under, but to lift the honest-hearted high. This shaking comes quietly like a wind that shifts at midnight. Only the wakeful will sense it. Every misplaced choice now begins to uncover its own consequence, not as a brutal punishment, but as the inevitable law of the spiritual order. The unawake will think, I am enraged, but in fact I am warning in mercy. When I close one door, it is because I am about to open another. When foundations quiver, it is not because I have gone. It is because I am raising up what is newer and truer. Do not despise small movements. Do not doze while your soul is being tried. The lazy-hearted will forfeit the chosen portion, not because I take it back, but because they walk away from safety. Yet those who keep their lamp burning and wait with patience for my action will see me step in at the right time and in the right way. For in just a little while he who is coming will come and will not delay. The righteous one will live by faith, Hebrews 1:3-7:38. My child, there are seasons without storms that still uproot whatever has no root. The shaking that comes does not blare with noise, nor flaunt itself, nor warn with lightning or thunder, yet it quietly separates soul by soul. I do not want you to panic. I want you to look closely. Is the ground beneath you truly solid, or only a cloud beneath your feet? Many things once deemed certain are beginning to tremble. Much once thought untouchable is cracking line by line. That is a sign not for despair, but for you to bow and examine your heart. The sifting does not make you fall because I hate you, but because I love you too much to leave you at ease in pretense. Like a craftsman chipping plaster from stone to reveal the core, I am stripping away the layers you and the world have painted on. No one will be able to hide behind title position, or even busyness for God. Such things cannot hold anyone upright in testing. You will see the most esteemed turn out to be the most shaken, because they never let me touch the truest place in their souls. I am not punishing, I am purifying. Remember that unlovely story few want to recall King Belshazzar in the book of Daniel. At a royal feast he took the golden vessels from my temple to drink wine and honor his idols. In his fullness and pride he thought himself invincible. But when a hand from heaven appeared and wrote upon the wall Mene, Mene, Tekel and Parsin, it was not a warning, it was a verdict. And that very night his throne was taken. My child, that lesson never grows old. Those who think they stand without watchfulness fall most grievously. Have you felt weary, even while everything seems fine? Perhaps you have been living in a reality crafted to keep up appearances, while your soul has begun to fissure along thin lines. I see, I know. I do not tear everything apart with cruelty. I shake lightly, so you may see the tree that truly grows from the earth does not fear the wind. Only dry branches snap, and the wind is coming. What I have not built will not endure. Whatever you do not yield to me, you will fight to keep, and in the end still lose. Therefore begin again, not by sprinting into zeal, but by returning to the foundation. Stand still, be silent, ask me, Lord, am I standing on the rock? If the answer leaves you quiet, that is a good sign, for silence is the beginning of listening, and listening is the first step toward restoration. You do not need to strain harder. You need to surrender in the right place, and that place is exactly where I am welcoming you home. You may think, everything is tangled. How can I know what is real? I do not leave you to feel your way alone. I have rung a bell in your soul at the very moment things outside begin to break. This wind is not to drown you, but to sweep away the counterfeit. You need not understand everything. You need only stay awake. Keep the lamp burning within, for midnight draws near, and the bridegroom's call is sounding. Therefore keep watch, for you do not know on what day your Lord will come. Matthew 2:4-2. Do not be afraid. I do not seek the flawless. I am calling the watchful. Those who will not turn back while things are easy will be struck down when the shaking reaches them. But those who choose to stop, to slow their step, and to heed my voice, even in the faintest whisper, will discover that what looked like ruin is the beginning of wonder. For when truth appears, the door I open appears, with it meant for no one else but you. My beloved child, there is a fullness that numbs you to hunger, and it is the most dangerous fullness of all, not because your soul is nourished, but because it is lulled by the sugared shell of illusions. You keep eating, receiving, digesting what sounds right, looks good, seems enough, until you can no longer hear the cry of holy hunger within. This sickness does not topple you in an instant. It drains your life in silence. And at last you find yourself a hollow shell ornamented by knowledge, feelings, and achievements, yet missing the one thing needful, me. I know the age you live in is loud. People love to speak of experiences and paint a life in vivid colors, but these are like over-edited images, beautiful yet false. If your soul keeps taking in too much glitter without a true foundation, it becomes a room awash in light, but without warmth. You still smile, still succeed, still draw applause, but when night falls and you are alone, do you feel the emptiness? Have you ever thought, why do I have all I wanted, yet remain unfulfilled? It is because you are drinking salt water to quench. Your thirst, the more you drink, the drier you become. The more you chase, the wearier you grow. Easy pleasures sand down the soul bit by bit. The outer clapping drowns the inner whisper. You pursue knowledge, but it is surface learning, never soaking in, never touching root. I do not blame you. I grieve when you are satisfied with a plastic loaf, while I have set before you the bread of life you ignore. Let me tell you a story, rarely told. A man named Simon in Samaria a famed magician whom people hailed as the power of God. But when he saw the apostles lay hands and the Holy Spirit come, he tried to buy it with silver. In Simon's heart, faith was not a living journey, but a tool to raise himself higher in the eyes of others. He was full on public admiration, yet empty before the truth. My child form can never purchase presence, and my presence comes only to the truly hungry. You must hunger again, not for novelty, but for what is true. Hunger until the world's processed fare becomes intolerable. Hunger enough to leave the glittering banquet and step into the wilderness with me, for only there will you receive manna from heaven. Be brave to abandon the lovely counterfeit, to refuse the comfortable imitation. I have not called you to live by what sounds good, but by what gives life. And do not fear when you seem to slow down, when prayers are not answered at once, when the door has not yet opened. Delay is not denial. It is the furnace of faith, where I strip away what you do not need and place within you what you never dared to think you needed. Self-reliance is a false throne, child. Faith is the true crown, and your seat will only stand when it is built on what I have spoken, not on what you imagine you understand. But whoever drinks the water I give them will never thirst again. The water I give will become in them a spring of water welling up to eternal life. John 4:1-4. Do you see, child? Hunger is not the enemy. It is the sign that you are still alive, and I am calling you back to the true feast, where the soul is filled by presence, not by noise. My beloved child, after the shaking passes and the veils fall away, your soul will stand bare between two choices: return to the discipline of faith, or retreat to the old safe ground. Remember, no one can linger forever in neutral. You either grow or you slip back. The discipline of faith is not a prison, but a walled garden, keeping your soul from being swept away by the winds of the world. It is not comfortable, but it is safe. It is not flashy, but it is real. I do not summon you to a religion with pretty rituals. I call you back to a disciplined relationship where faith is forged, not recited. Faith does not blossom on level ground. It takes root only when buried. Every promise I give is paired with a lengthened silence, so you learn to believe when you cannot see. You complain of delay, but you forget that faith does not grow in applause. It grows in the quiet of waiting. When I am silent, it is not because I have left. It is because I am watching to see whether you still trust me when you feel nothing at all. Those who believe only when answered love the outcome, not me. But those who keep praying into the void are learning to love me truly. And it is that love which makes faith endure. I remember a man named Abraham. He was no born hero, but one who trembled between fear and hope. When I asked him to offer Isaac, his only son, he did not understand. He did not ask why, he simply went. 3 days he walked in silence. No angel, no sign, no confirmation. Yet that very walking in the dark made him the father of faith. Do you see, I did not need him to prove trust with words. I needed him to take steps. True faith is not a feeling. It is the repeated act in the middle of days when nothing seems to change. Child faith is the discipline of mature souls. Without discipline, faith rots like an unpruned branch. You cannot only hear and then forget promise and then abandon. You must learn to keep your word, to pray steadily, to read my word, though your heart feels empty, to choose what is right when what is wrong is easier. The discipline of faith is the staff that keeps you from slipping when the road grows steep. It teaches you that my faithfulness is not grounded in your feelings, but in my own nature. Each time you stand firm in temptation, each time you hold your tongue when complaint burns to be spoken, you lay another stone upon the altar of faith. I know there are moments you fear, afraid you have believed amiss, afraid you are walking into a cul-de-sac, but fear is the shadow cast by faith. Without light there is no shadow. Precisely because faith is at work, fear appears. If you let me take your hand, you will see fear dissolves as you keep moving. Courage does not arrive before the act. It is born within the act. Do not wait until you stop trembling to obey. Obey even while you tremble. I do not seek the strong. I seek those who dare to trust. For we walk by faith, not by sight. 2 Corinthians 5:7. You must also learn to hear me in the chaos. My voice does not thunder in the storm. It comes like a gentle breeze. To hear, you must clear your heart of noise, the noise of fear, of over-reasoning, of comparison. Examine yourself daily. Let my word shine into the corners you still hide. Prayer is not endless speech. It is remaining still until your soul grows quiet. Only then will you discern what is my will and what is merely your voice. Child, true faith is a candle that burns through the night, not a firework that flares and dies. It is patient, steady, hidden, and if you keep that flame through the unseen days, you will be ready for what I am about to do, for I entrust miracles only to souls tempered in the fire of discipline. My dear one, there are things I do outside every cycle pattern and calculation you have known. When you think I have fallen silent forever, that is when I am bending history along a line no one foresaw. I am not bound by time nor confined to methods. True miracles never send advance notice, and the season of my action often begins at the very moment your hands are empty. You call it the end of the road. I call it the starting point. Where human strength stops is not tragedy, it is opportunity. Where reason retreats, faith rises like a flame in the night. I did this once for the widow at Zarephath. With only a last handful of flour and a little oil for a final meal, she thought her life would close in hunger and despair. But I sent Elijah at that exact hour, no sooner, no later. The miracle did not come when her storehouses were full, but when her hands were bare. In the willingness to share her last morsel, I kept the jar of flour from failing and the jug of oil from running dry. Child, do not wait until you are abundant to believe I can work. I work precisely when there is nothing left to work with. I see your weariness. I see how you have tried everything, prayed many times, made plans, prepared carefully, only to watch doors close one by one. Then doubt whispers, perhaps God's will is not for me. Remember, sometimes I let you collide with your limit so you can discern the line between human boundary and the space reserved for wonder. If all moved by calculation, there would be no need for my presence. Because things have slipped beyond your grasp, I am about to enter with my hand. Do not mistake delay for refusal, nor silence for forgetfulness. In the span you call wasted, I am reordering the deep places of your soul at times, your trust, at times your motives, at times your direction. I do not only long to bless you, I long to teach you to treasure blessing. Yesterday's no is not a door barred forever. It is my way of leading you toward a greater yes you have not yet dared to imagine. Let me whisper something only you will understand. You are not being held back. You are being made ready. There are gifts, opportunities, miracles placed in your hands. Too soon they would become burdens. But when you have learned to lean, to walk through night, to choose me over results, that is when I know you are prepared. Then the miracle comes not merely to supply you, but to make you a bearer of miracles. You will no longer be the one in need of rescue. You will become a conduit of grace to others standing where you once fell. Can a mother forget her child? See, I have engraved you on the palms of my hands. Isaiah 49:1-5-16. Do you see I have never taken my eyes off you? Every tear, every long night, every secret whisper, I have recorded them all. No pain is wasted in my kingdom. The season of surprise does not visit the expert prognosticator, but the one who has learned to remain in faith when all else has departed. And I will do it suddenly, like a door swinging open in the middle of a wall. For when the miracle begins, it does not end with delivering you. It turns you into a torch guiding other souls who wait for a small light in the long night. But that is the part you do not see yet, and I will unveil it only when you are ready. Child, no one passes through a season of miracles only to return to life as before. When I do something great in you, it is not a finale but a quiet calling wrapped within the blessing. What I restore in you, I intend to use to touch others. What I break and rebuild within your heart becomes the foundation of a mission none other can replace. Do not store the miracle as a private keepsake. Live as living proof that I am still at work in a world growing cold with doubt. Know this: a torch is not made to be admired in a closed room. It must be carried into the night where all other lights have gone out. When I choose you, it is not because you are strong, nor because you deserve more than others, but because you have been broken. A vessel once cracked is where light seeps out most clearly. Your faithfulness in the dark has qualified you to be a torch in my hand. Now I do not only want you to rise, I want you to step out. Do not fear the scoffs. Do not dread the skeptical gaze. Those who saw you fall will gasp when they see you stand. If God did this for them, surely He can do it for me. You need not persuade with ornate speech. Let your story, its fractures, its tears, its resurrection speak with the loudest voice. When others see you, not merely survive but shine in the dark, my kingdom spreads not by sermon but by life. Learn to live as a moving miracle, not ostentatious yet unmistakable, not flawless yet consistent. Do not rush as if afraid to miss your appointment with life. Live slowly enough to hear me, steady enough for others to lean on when they are sinking. As you pass through shadow and keep the inner flame, you will become a pillar of fire in the night, as I once was for Israel in the wilderness. You are the light of the world. A city set on a hill cannot be hidden. Matthew 5:14, I did not place you on the height to be celebrated. I set you there so light would reach the valleys of souls still veiled in shadow. To keep that light from dimming, you must go on feeding the fire with humility, with faithfulness, with everyday choices for the truth, even when no one is watching. Your mission is not to live for yourself, but to lead others back to me, just as I patiently led you out of your old ways. Begin by sowing a single seed of truth today. A timely word, an unconditioned embrace, a gaze without judgment. Such small things will become tomorrow's forest of truth, where other souls will take shelter, learn to live, and be healed. You need not do the grand thing. Be faithful with the portion I entrust to you. I will do the rest. And my child, when you keep bearing witness with quiet persistence, even by a single glance, a single bearing, a single choice, your very life becomes the letter I send to the world that I am still alive, still loving, still transforming what once seemed dead. This is the conclusion of the argument, yet the beginning of a new journey, not a life lived to preserve the flame, but to pass it on from my hand, through you, to multitudes. O child who listens in the hush of your own soul, do not let fear choke the rising call of light within you. Fear is the dim mist of those who do not yet know where they belong. It is the wall that stands between humankind and truth. But you, the child I love, have touched the threshold of awakening, where your eyes begin to see deeper than the surfaces of things. The world will try to make you doubt yourself, for it fears what it does not understand. It fears the light that shines into the hidden corners of its own soul. Do not tremble before their scornful laughter. Know that every laugh, every sneer, is only the echo of their inner insecurity. Once you have seen the truth, everything else is but a testing of your faith. The light I give you is not only illumination, it is the armor of the soul, the compass in the night, the quiet pulse that carries you across every chasm of doubt. There will be gray days when even the stars seem silent, and you feel alone amid a fog-bound sea of people. Yet it is in that loneliness that my true light will blaze strongest in your heart. You will no longer need a shelter outside yourself, for you will have become a torch to your own path. Remember, light has meaning only when it stands firm in the darkness. Courage is proven only in the presence of fear. In time you will see that this world is a vast play, where every soul acts its part without knowing who the director is. Some choose the role of the strong, some the role of the suffering, some wander all their lives seeking the light, without ever knowing it was within them from the beginning. You, the one who hears me, are given another role. You are the awakener. And an awakener's road is never smooth. Those still drunk on sleep and shadow will look on you as a mad one. They will reject you, perhaps even try to quench the flame in your heart. Do not hate them, for they have not yet seen what you see. Have compassion on them, for they do not yet know that the same source of light lives in them. Be calm like a river. Do not argue with the stone. Do not resent the wind. Let your actions answer for you. When you speak from sincerity, your words need no defense. When you live with the light, your very presence is a message. And then those who have ears will hear, those who have hearts will feel, though you speak not a word. This world may shake, may break, may lose its way in the whirlwind of ambition and deceit. You will witness people trampling truth in the name of truth, sowing hatred in the name of love. Do not let your heart be poisoned by such things. True strength is not in imposing your will, but in keeping your heart pure amid the mire. Whenever you feel yourself falter, remember me not as a figure outside you, but as the breath within you. I have never left you. I am in every heartbeat, in every gentle stirring of the soul. When you pray, do not seek me in the high heavens. Seek me in the peace within your heart, in the courage that still glows even while tears fall. You will learn that faith is not for display, but the quiet light that guides the weary steps. Do not fear if you must walk alone. The way of light always begins in solitude. Yet it is not an empty loneliness. It is the stillness in which your soul blossoms. In that silence you will hear the wind of the universe whisper that every soul is beloved. One day you will look back and understand that every trial, every tear, every wound you carried became a paving stone toward today's awakening. No suffering is meaningless if it leads you to understanding. No darkness is terrifying if you know how to keep the light within. As you move through the current of life, be a mirror of hope for those who have lost their faith. Let your kindness warm hearts chilled by falsehood. Let your steadiness become a refuge for trembling souls. Do not think what you do today is small. A single seed in dry soil can grow into an ancient tree if given light and patience. Your seeds, the good you do, the honest words you speak, the brave choices you make will quietly germinate in places you never expect. And someday, long after you have gone, forests of truth will rise and people you never met will find shade beneath the trust you once kept. You will find that in the silence of time, all that is good is remembered, while all that is counterfeit fades into oblivion. The world may never know your name, but the universe will mark the path of your steps. Every act born of love is a note in the music of creation. Do not let the doubts of others render you mute, nor their anger turn your heart to stone. Smile, for that smile is the declaration of a soul set free. O child of light, remember always that I do not ask you to be a saint in the eyes of the world. I ask you to be honest with your own soul. Dare to err that you may learn, dare to fall that you may understand, dare to step forward that you may grow. Truth is not housed in gilded books, but in the way you live each day. Look into others' eyes with love, listen with your heart, act with conscience, and you will discover that light is not something to be sought, but something you bring. When night descends and the clamor of the world sinks into stillness, sit down, close your eyes, and feel the beating of your heart. There I am, still speaking to you in the wordless language of eternity. I tell you that you are not alone. You have never been alone. Every step you take, even in darkness, is watched over by the light of boundless love. Keep going, keep sowing, keep kindling, For this is the sacred mission your soul chose before you were born. And when one day you look back, you will see the world is not what it was, for the light you carried has ushered in a new dawn. My child, the time of preparation is not only to ready yourself for the tremors to come, but to cleanse the soul of the dust of the world, to make your heart clear, as it was at the beginning, when you could still hear truth's whisper amid 1,000 misdirecting noises. The changes ahead are not punishment, but a great purification in which light and shadow can no longer abide together. Understand that whatever shakes and falls away is the part that was never real, the thin shell that once concealed the true nature of all things. When the storm passes, it does not come to destroy, but to purify, to reveal what is enduring, pure and worthy to remain. Do not fear collapse, for only in the breaking can the new be born. Only when the old is shed can the true grow. I do not call you merely to watch the world change, but to become part of its transformation. In the dark of chaos, you are a small lamp, yet the light of one lamp is enough to show the road to the lost. You need not carry the world on your shoulders. You must only keep your inner light from going out, for it may save one despairing soul, and that one may save many more. Light spreads not by words, but by the presence of the one who bears it. Live true to your soul, and the light will radiate of itself like the fragrance of a flower that fills the air without effort. Remember, every upheaval begins within, and if your heart is at peace, you will become a refuge for storm-tossed hearts. This world will pass through convulsions never seen before, from mighty empires to humble hamlets, from gilded thrones to lowly roofs. All will hear the summons of a new age. Those who trusted in money, power, or fame will see them vanish like ash, for none of these can stand before the truth that is coming. Only love, integrity, and humility will remain like seeds buried deep in the earth, awaiting to sprout after the storm. My child, do not be afraid when what you once trusted falls apart, for that is the very hour the real world begins to take shape. You will see many fall in grief, and you will also see souls rise stronger than ever, like phoenixes reborn from ashes. Do not turn your back on them. Do not judge. Stretch out your hands as one who has crossed the abyss, for your compassion will be the bridge that leads despairing souls back to the source of light. All things are arranged in the river of time, yet your free will remains the key that decides where you will stand when the waves rise high. I have given you knowledge, intuition, and a heart that can discern, so you will not be swept away by deceiving voices. When you hear 1,000 contradictions, listen to the silence within. There is where I dwell. Not in splendid temples nor in loud orations, but in the moment you pause, take a deep breath, and realize you are still alive and able to love. That is when you touch me. And once you know this, you will understand that nothing can truly threaten you, for your soul is eternal, a shard of mirror reflecting my light. I know you are weary, bewildered at times, and you have asked, "Why me?" But it is precisely because you asked that you were chosen. Only those who have walked through darkness understand the value of light. Only those who have stumbled know how to lift another up. Do not resent the past, my child, for every wound is a sacred mark, and every time you fell, it became a lesson that steadied you for the storm. You are trained not to be flawless, but to be true, true to yourself, to the world, and to the light you carry in your heart. When you dare to live truthfully, even in silence, the whole universe answers for truth, always resonates with truth. There will be days when you feel alone, like a traveler crossing a trackless desert. But do not fear solitude. In that stillness, you are being taught to hear my voice more clearly than ever. Each wind that passes bears a message. Each star above is a promise that you are not alone. I am always near. It is only that you have not yet noticed. When you open your heart, you will see the small signs you once overlooked. A gentle glance, an honest word, a moment of peace amid the turmoil. All are the unseen hands I send to guide you through the night. One day, when the world is drowned in turmoil, you will find yourself standing at the crossroads of fear and faith. Many will choose fear, for it is the easier, more familiar road. But you, my child, choose faith, not a blind faith, but the faith born of knowing that every upheaval rests within the order of love. When you stand firm in that faith, you will become a landmark for wavering souls, a lighthouse on a fog-bound sea, a song in the night that reminds every heart of its true homeland, where suffering is no more and only serenity and light. Remain. So do not squander your time on what has passed. Do not let your mind be bound by the faults of others or by your own failures. Let go as leaves fall back to their roots, for only when you lay down the old burdens can you stretch out your hands to receive the new. My child, I do not ask you to forget. I ask you to learn to look upon the past with gratitude, grateful that through it you have grown, grateful that it has taught you that true love is not grasping but allowing all things to return to their rightful place within the sacred order of the cosmos. And now, as a new dawn draws near, I want you ready not only in action, but in bearing. Rise, breathe deeply. Feel the mother's life coursing through your every cell, and smile, for you have survived, you have awakened, and your mission is beginning. The world needs hearts like yours, not to wage battle with sword and spear, but to radiate the light of understanding and compassion. My child, be a candle that does not go out though the winds may rage. For when one candle is kindled, 1,000 more may catch its flame without dimming its own. Time will prove that what I say now is not prophecy but truth unveiling itself by degrees. You will see souls like yours across the earth, awakening in unison like small flames, gathering into a new firmament of humanity. Some will scoff, some will doubt, yet they too will have to acknowledge it, for light cannot be hidden forever. And when that day comes, when the last shadows retreat, you will know that none of your trials were in vain, for they forged you into the one who carries light through midnight, unafraid, steadfast, simply shining, as is your very nature. Beloved child, remember this: you are not as small as you imagine. You are part of the Great One, my breath, the heartbeat of the universe. When you speak words of love, it is I who speak through you. When you stretch out your hand to help, it is I who act through you. And when you stand in silence yet radiate peace, then you are nearest to me. So do not seek me in far-off places. Do not think I am beyond your reach. I am here in every breath, in every gaze, in every moment you pause to heed the call of your heart. And when you truly know this, fear will fade, for every road leads you home where I wait. My child, as your soul opens to the subtle signs of the universe, you will see that nothing happens by chance. Every passing breeze, every sudden shaft of insight, even a long silence, holds a message meant for you. To sleeping souls, these are the ordinary scraps of life, but to you, one beginning to awaken, they become wondrous echoes, quiet signals only a listening heart can comprehend. The world is turning toward a new course, not loud, not violent, but like an underground stream, quiet yet relentless, carrying the power of change. When you feel that current, do not be alarmed. Open your soul to receive it, as earth welcomes rain, as a seed longs for light. Only those who are ready, who do not refuse the summons of intuition, can cross the threshold of awareness and enter the clarity of the soul. There will be moments when your heart quivers as though an unseen hand has brushed it. That is the holy calling your name. Do not ignore it. Do not run. Fear is the child of ignorance, but you who have chosen to awaken, rise with courage. Courage is not the absence of fear. It is the will to step forward though your legs still tremble. The trust that light will be waiting at the end of the road. Every soul is given the chance to outgrow itself, to dissolve its bonds, to find again the pure core, long veiled by life's dust. As you begin that journey, the world will not look the same. What once preoccupied you grows small. The censure and doubt of others lose their weight. Your heart grows calmer, deeper, like a clear lake after the storm. then your soul has touched the deeper reaches of understanding that every upheaval is a lesson and you yourself choose to answer it with love or with fear. Time is surging like a great river carrying humanity through a bend of destiny. In that current, some will thrash in chaos, some will drift aimlessly, but there are souls like yours who will steer their craft and become guides. The world needs such brave souls, those who do not only see with the eyes but with the heart, who do not only hear with the ears but by listening with the whole being. When the storm of change rises, do not look for shelter. Stand within it and heed the roar of the wind, for in that very sound is the voice of the Creator calling you to live more fully, more awake, more lovingly. You will see bewildered faces around you. Do not blame them. Every soul wakes in its own hour. Your task is not to judge but to shine. Light does not strive against darkness, it simply shines and the darkness dissolves. Understand, beloved child, that awakening is not an end but a beginning. The signs you perceive are only the first steps on an endless path. You must learn to keep your heart steady in the storm, to trust the unseen when all that is seen is shaking. There will be times of loneliness, for you walk a road few dare to choose. Do not fear it, for in stillness your soul hears its true calling. Let kindness lead, let gratitude be your ground. True wisdom is not in lofty speech, but in loving through small deeds, in forgiving though wounded, in believing in the good, even when the world denies it. When the door of opportunity opens, it will seldom take the shape you expect. Often it appears as a trial, a loss, a pain. Yet in every crack of suffering, light is hidden. Do not let fear turn you away. Look deeply into your pain, and you will find not an enemy, but a teacher. Sorrow teaches resilience, loss teaches gratitude, and darkness reveals the strength of light. When you grasp this, no event will unnerve you. Each will become a bridge carrying you closer to wholeness. And then one day, when the world cries out in fear, when what was hidden is laid bare, and falsehoods crumble, you will not be alarmed. You have prepared for that day by awakening. You will stand amid upheaval with a heart as tranquil as an autumn lake. People will come and ask why you do not tremble, and you will smile because you know fear lives only in hearts that have not yet learned to trust. You have chosen to trust, to awaken to love, and that is why you are different. The road ahead will not be easy, but it is worthy. Each step, however, small bears great meaning, for it is the stride of a soul returning home. Be steadfast. Live as the light you wish to see in the world. When you sow a seed of love, even a gentle word, a simple act of kindness, you help build a new world where fear no longer reigns and humanity remembers its true nature, souls born of light to shine. When that hour arrives, you will know that every sign, every whisper, every trial was not in vain. They were chapters in the great symphony of awakening, where your soul moves with the sacred rhythm of the universe and realizes you are what you have been seeking all along. Beloved child, as you walk through the world's tumult, remember that true light is not out there but rises from within, where the Spirit has quietly laid the foundations of wisdom and trust. The world will tempt you with 1,000 dazzling colors, with the honeyed voices of fame, and gain with the empty promises of those who wear a prophet's cloak but carry hollow hearts. They will speak of easy roads, ladders of renowned glories won by walking blind. But my child, do not lose yourself in those counterfeit lights, for all that is woven of illusion will vanish when the dawn of truth appears. You must be watchful, for every moment of carelessness draws the fog of worldliness over your soul. Watchfulness is not suspicion. It is the grace to see through words, to sense the true vibration of a soul amid the clamor. Some things that sound like wholesome counsel are but chains. Some things that seem small carry the seeds of awakening. Therefore listen with the heart and not with reason alone, for the heart is where the Spirit speaks. When you find yourself lost in the storm of ideas, pause, breathe, and remember, Truth is not found in the shouting of the crowd, but in the deep stillness of your spirit. There will be days when knowledge feels like a burden on your shoulders, like a mountain where every step leaves your lungs heaving. Yet within that weariness you are being forged. Knowledge without wisdom is only a weight, but wisdom tempered by suffering becomes wings. When darkness closes in, when you hear the call of fear, when your heart wants to let go, remember that the dark is not a final period, but a veil drawn briefly before the dawn. I am still there within every breath you take, within every fragile thought, in the long night, within every tear you swallow in silence. I do not depart from you, for you are a part of my very breath. My power does not come in thunder or flame, but as a quiet stream running through your soul, washing pain clean and reviving long-withered longings. Let my love become the rampart around your heart, keeping you from the wounds of the world, so you do not tremble before the storm, grow proud when praised, or collapse when reproached. You must stand firm not only by the strength of your will, but by the trust that I am always with you. Beloved, you are not alone. Every step you take, however small, is weaving a thread into the vast tapestry of a sacred design you cannot yet comprehend. You are a grain of sand in the desert, yet within every grain lies a universe. Your presence matters not because you stand out, but because you are a link in the chain of light joining countless souls. When you live with love and truth, you take part in the resurrection of humankind. A door of opportunity is opening, not for your indulgence, but for your awakening. Every challenge is not a barrier, but an invitation. Receive it with the courage of one who knows that suffering is the shortest road to wisdom. This world does not need more clever talkers. It needs souls who live truly, who dare to face themselves, who dare to shine a light into the inner dark and find the eternal flame. Those who seek only comfort will lose the meaning of the journey. Those who chase only success will stray from their essence. But you, my child, have chosen to awaken, to walk the narrow, rugged path, the road few travel, yet the one that leads to union with me. Do not fear solitude, for solitude is only the temporary shell of growth. Do not fear failure, for each stumble teaches humility. Do not fear the dark, for light blazes brightest in the deepest night. Be steadfast. Be faithful, faithful to your mission, to your soul, and to the very love that brought you into being. Do not let the world make you doubt the worth of goodness, for precisely when you persist in sowing seeds in winter, I am preparing spring for you. When no one believes in human kindness, be the last who still believes. When others chase what quickly fades, be the one who stops to listen to the heartbeat of eternity. You were not born to live a small life, but to stand as witness to the greatest truth, that light can conquer darkness, that love can heal hatred, that one awakened soul can shake the earthly realm. Let your stillness become prayer, your actions a hymn to the Spirit, and let every smile and every tear bear the imprint of truth. You will meet many people and hear many words, but let your soul be the compass. When you are weary, lean on me. When you are confused, seek again the flame in your heart. When you are lost, close your eyes. You will see my light guiding your way. Do not hasten to seek answers in the world, for the answer is already within you. Go on, my child. Each breath is a grace. Each trial is a reminder that you are alive, still learning, drawing ever nearer to eternal truth. Do not look for me far away, for I am present in every cell, every breath, every beat of your heart. When you love, I love within you. When you forgive, I forgive within you. And when you fall, it is I who lift you up. Keep walking, though the road is long and solitary. Only those who dare to cross their own desert can reach the promised land of the Spirit. Remember, strength does not belong to the one who never stumbles, but to the one who rises each time with light in the eyes. Live as though each day were the first gift of life and also the last chance to love. Turn everything you touch into blessing. Turn every wound into a seed of compassion. Live as a witness to everlasting love, for this is the sacred mission for which you were chosen. You are not merely a traveler among worldly things. You are the flame I have kindled to illumine humanity's night. And as long as that flame burns, I remain with you always. Each moment, a person faces the wind of doubt and the tide of weariness is not a sign of failure, but an invitation to delve deeper into the hidden strength of the soul. Whenever you feel unsteady, when your heart is torn between trust and fear, that is the instant when the door of growth stands ajar. Trials do not come to break you, but to hone you, to temper within you a resilient heart and a faith unmoved by the passing gusts of the world. When you pause and look deeply within, you will find that in life's tempests, a quiet power is always present, the light of faith, the warmth of unconditional love, the unseen hand guiding you through crossroads that seem without hope. Remember that every voice that makes you doubt yourself, every feeling of smallness or estrangement, is a reflection of fears once hidden. Only when you dare to face them do they become the wings that lift you. Faith is not proven when all goes well. It is the torch that truly blazes when the darkness is thickest. You were not born to surrender, but to stand and give light, even when it seems no one stands beside you. When you dare to face fear, you turn it into strength. When you keep peace amid chaos, you engrave the mark of a great soul. The challenges you meet are not punishments, but choices, paths, entrusted only to those able to walk them. Do not seek to evade suffering. Learn to pass through it with clear eyes and an open heart. In every breath, every decision, every moment that seems ordinary, opportunity is being woven. It does not flare with noise and brightness, but moves like a dawn breeze, appearing only to those who listen and trust. That opportunity is not yours alone. It is the pulse of a larger current, the current of awakening of which you are a part. When your heart opens, the light will spread, guiding souls who wander in the night of doubt and fear. Through each small deed and each word steeped in tenderness, you become a mirror of kindness and truth, and through you, many will find their way home to themselves. Union between your heart and truth is not far away. It happens when you live true love, true, and trust true. As you walk with steady faith, the world around you shifts like a seed waiting in the night for light to break and sprout. All transformation begins within, and when you change, the whole cosmos subtly trembles. Some souls will find their dawn by the light in your eyes. Some hearts will revive simply by the serene presence you release. Do not think yourself small, for a single drop can ripple the lake. Do not think yourself powerless, for one ray of light is enough to scatter the night. The world needs people who keep fidelity through storms, who love even when wounded, who rise after they have fallen. This is the quiet yet noble mission I have placed within you. Whenever you feel weighed down, remember that my gaze is upon you and never strays. In that gaze, you will see your own reflection, stronger, gentler, more steadfast than ever. Trials do not come to make you lose your way, but to show you the path. Not to make you despair, but to teach you to trust what cannot be seen. When you learn to see with the heart, you will discover that behind every wall stands a door, behind every tear, a joy about to bloom, and after every collapse, a great lesson in courage. I do not ask you to be perfect. I ask you to be honest with yourself and brave enough to move through every bend of destiny with your eyes set on the light. The soul's maturity comes not from avoiding pain, but from holding it close and transforming it into love. When you learn this, you cease to be a victim of circumstance and become the one who creates light from within the dark. The world waits for hearts like these, hearts not subdued by storms that use the wind to rise the wounds, to understand deeply, and silence to hear the call of the sacred. One day you will look back and know that every drop of sweat, every collapse, every fear that passed was not in vain. They were the soil where the flower of understanding took root, the sky where the wings of freedom opened wide. When you trust, nothing is impossible. And when you live awake, even the smallest act becomes a miracle. For every awakened soul is a bright lamp, and when millions of lamps blaze together, darkness finds no refuge. You are one of those lamps lit not to shine for yourself alone, but to rekindle faith in wandering hearts. Remember, every upheaval is only a trial by which your love is refined and your trust made indestructible. When you remain steadfast, when you do not let the world dim the light within you, are doing more than you know, you are helping the world remember that this light lives in everyone. Then the union between your heart and truth will no longer be a distant idea, but a living reality unfolding each day in every breath you take, spreading like a sacred fire that sets the human sky alight. Beloved child, do not let your heart tremble before the tremors that draw near, for they are not merely the shaking of the material world, but the echo of the sacred realm where truth begins and reality speaks. When light rises, darkness has no hiding place. Every deceit and every veil over the human soul will fall away, leaving the bare essence of each spirit. Do not be dismayed, for what seems like chaos is the first step of opening. Every collapse carries a seed of life. Every ruin conceals a resurrection. And in the very storm of truth, each person is tested to choose either to cling to old illusions or to step into the light of what is real. Child, truth does not come to punish, but to set free. When the dust of centuries is blown away, only then do humans see the true face of themselves. Pain, remorse, fear, all will surge back, yet it is the necessary ache through which the soul is reborn. For no one can find real freedom without once looking straight into their own darkness. And you, the one called to bear that light, are not reading these words by accident, nor is your heart stirred by my summons by chance. You have been prepared through trials, through losses that seemed meaningless, so that now you might become the one who carries the torch. The world is in need of light, not the blinding glare of fame or power, but the gentle and steadfast light of an awakened spirit. You must be the one who stands in the storm without being swept away, who looks directly into chaos and yet keeps the peace within. When you speak, let your words carry the breath of truth. When you act, let each step you take become a testament to the sacred thing you have seen. Do not fear opposition. Do not grow weary when others do not understand, for truth has never been welcomed with fanfare. You must accept solitude and learn to stand firm in silence, for only in the deepest stillness will you hear the call of the Spirit. Child, the days ahead will test your faith as fire tests gold. You will witness things that shake the human heart systems that seemed immutable, collapsing in an instant, the powerful bowing before a truth they once denied. Yet do not let your heart be weighed down by fear. Understand that everything unfolding rests within the sacred current of the universe's balance. Only when darkness is exposed can light shine everywhere. You may not turn away, for your calling does not permit you to flee. I did not choose you for ease. I chose you because there is a flame in your heart that the world needs. You will be a sower who trusts the spring, though the soil is parched. You will be a sentinel of dawn who believes in the light at the horizon, though the night is long. Do not let the world's clamor drown out the soul's whisper. Do not let the scoffs of the blind snuff out the fire within you. Stand upright, O chosen one, for when you are unwavering, the very heavens bend to listen. Remember, light does not debate with darkness, it simply exists and illumines. Your strength does not lie in conquest, but in awakening. When you love without asking, in return. When you forgive, without needing to be understood. When you walk, though you cannot yet see the path, then you become my voice. You are the heartbeat of the new world, taking shape, the breath of the dawn that draws near. Do not expect the world's applause when you speak of truth, for truth makes the deluded tremble. Yet do not be silent for that reason, for the silence of those who know becomes the darkness of the unawakened. Let every word you utter be a raindrop that softens the parched fields of the Spirit. Let every gaze you offer be a prayer sent into the world. For what this age needs is not more argument, but more love and light. Child, learn to see all things with the eyes of the soul, to behold goodness amid disorder, new life sprouting from ashes, the chance of redemption hidden in every ruin. For all that comes to pass is a mirror for the human heart. When the deceitful fall, it is not only their ending, but a bell of warning for the many. And within every collapse of humankind, there is yet the upholding hand of the divine. You must recognize this, that your heart may bear no bitterness, and your spirit close against nothing. Open your heart, child, for only a spacious heart can contain the light of truth. In this hour, humanity stands before a great threshold, the doorway of awareness, of transformation. Each soul must choose its path to sleep on in illusion or to awaken and live true to its innate divinity. You, the one called, must be the bell that rouses them, not by force, not by authority, but by the holy presence of your own being. For when a single lamp is lit, the surrounding darkness dissolves of itself. When one heart loves in truth, countless hearts are moved. That is the miracle, and you are the instrument through which it comes to pass. Believe this, child, for what I say today is not only for you to hear, but for you to live and to radiate. The world will be remade, but only as hearts are remade within. Your light is the beginning of a new era, an era of awakening, of truthfulness, of love that surpasses every boundary. Do not wait for another sign, for you yourself are the sign. The hour is not far, the tide is rising, and those who are ready shall be lifted upon its flow. Do not hesitate, for each passing moment is as precious as the last breath before dawn. Rise, take up the torch I have placed in your hand, and step into the night that is ending. Let that light be a path for the lost. Let your compassion soothe the fearful and undone. And when the world beholds you, they will recognize that amid the ruins, there is still faith amid suffering, still hope amid darkness, still light, the light of the divine shining through you. You are the universe's answer to prayers uttered in despair. Live so, child of light, that when the world looks upon you, it will know, though darkness may cover the land, morning will come and truth will forever be revealed. You have chosen to listen, and from that very moment the world within you began to change. As the soul opens to the subtle tremors of truth, you discover that every sound of the universe is whispering to you, not with the ears hearing, but with the language of the soul, with the pulse of life spreading through each breath. Awakening is not a destination, but an unending pilgrimage of inner illumination, a sacred encounter between the smallness of the human and the vastness of one's own true being. When you choose to walk that path, you not only welcome the light, but must face the darkness of doubt and fear, the antique limits you once believed eternal. Each time you touch your fear, another door within opens. You see more clearly the essence of your humanity, and you realize that all you once avoided has been waiting to be loved, to be held, and to be set free. The journey of the awakened is the journey of courage, the courage to face truth, though it wounds, to shed the husk of the ego, to accept your own fragility as part of eternal beauty. With every unhurried breath, with every moment you return to stillness, you are being reborn. Awakening does not make you someone else. It returns you whole to yourself, the child who once looked upon the world with unclouded eyes, trusting and loving, without condition. Do not seek me in distant places. Do not wait for miracles from without, for I am already there in every heartbeat, every tear, every moment you know, to stop and listen. When you truly listen with the whole of your soul, my voice will sound not loud, not coercive, but gentle, as wind on tender grass, as light threading through leaves. That voice not only guides you, it upholds you that you may walk through a turbulent world without losing your true mind. There will be trials in this world and many voices to unsettle you, But only when you stand firm in your own stillness can you hear the deepest truth that all things unfolding carry a higher meaning, a lesson your soul must learn to grow. Do not fear loss, do not fear change, for these very changes are the unseen hands shaping who you are becoming. Whenever you feel lost, remember, light never abandons the one who seeks it. Though you fall, though you ache, though despair presses in, the seed of dawn is quietly breaking open in the darkest night. Awakening does not arise from intellect, but from trust, from trusting that though you do not yet understand, all things are bringing you to where you need to be. When you cease struggling for control and let the current of the cosmos bear you in confidence, that is when the miracle begins. Power lies not in holding fast, but in letting go, not in the shout, but in the silence that can hear the voice of the soul. And when you learn to see everything with the eyes of love, you will know that nothing truly stands against you. Everything only invites you to become wiser, gentler, and truer to yourself. The world will change, storms will come, new currents will sweep through. Yet you, the one who has chosen to awaken, will no longer be carried away. You will become a river that knows the way to the sea, able to embrace every bend without losing the course toward your source. True strength is not resistance but belonging, not rising over others but rising beyond the shadow within. When you reach the still point in the whirl of chaos, you will understand why I have said that your strength lies in my guidance. For I am not far off. I am the clearest part within you, the part that always knows what is true and what is needful. I am the breath you draw, the thrum within your chest, the light that brushes your skin each morning. And when you trust this leading, every door of opportunity opens not as a reward but as the universe's natural response to your readiness. Keep walking though the road is long and the heart sometimes tires. Guard the flame within, for it is the only lamp that can light the way through the night. When you stop searching for answers outside yourself, you will hear my deepest whisper that you are enough, you are loved, you already are the very light you seek. Then awakening ceases to be a solitary pilgrimage and becomes a dance between you and the universe, where every limit dissolves and only boundless love remains, where you and I are no longer two, but one quiet, fathomless, and everlasting. Beloved child, etch upon your heart that I am the one who fashioned every mystery, the source from which all that surpasses human understanding flows. No boundary can hinder my power, no circumstance is so shadowed it can dim my light. I am the God of the impossible. The unseen hand that parts the sea makes the wilderness bloom and softens a heart thought turned to stone until it trembles again with love. Do not let the long, unending days of waiting unsettle you, nor let silence shake your faith, for I who made time am not bound by it. I am never late, nor am I in haste. Every moment rests within my embrace, and each seemingly ordinary second of your life fits within a wondrous design you cannot yet fathom. What you call delay is the hour I am quietly rearranging the pieces so that when the moment comes, all things will harmonize perfectly. What you call silence is the season in which I am weaving miracles within the stillness, in realms your eyes do not yet see, but for which your soul is being prepared. My child, true faith is not measured by the times I speak to you, but by the hours when you hear nothing and still stand firm, believing I am at work. When the heavens above you fall quiet, when your prayers seem to echo into solitary space, know that I am training your heart to be steadfast, that you might no longer lean on outward signs, but rest upon a deep trust within your spirit. I do not desire a fragile faith that rejoices only when gifts are in hand, but a resilient faith that smiles even before the gift appears. Remember, every seed must lie hidden in the dark earth before it rises to the morning light. If you feel the darkness closing in, do not think I am absent. Night is the veil I use to cover the work that is nearing completion. My time is not your time. You count the days by the ticking of a clock. I measure them by the pulse of eternity. You grow restless when results do not appear. I am patient, for I know when goodness will flower. You want the miracle at once. I am nourishing it with love and wisdom. As a child cannot be born until the womb has reached its full term, so every promise I have made to you requires its season to take shape. You cannot see what unfolds behind the curtain, yet I am ordering every detail, every step, every person, so that at the appointed hour all things will blend into a perfect wonder. Do not be quick to conclude that I do not hear, simply because I have not yet replied. Every plea you whisper, every tear you shed, I keep. None is lost in the holy ground. They become seeds of blessing, and in due season they will open into flowers of joy. My silence is not forgetfulness, but a pledge that what I prepare will be worthy of every drop of sweat and every sleepless night. There are things you ask that I withhold, not because I do not love you, but because I love you too much to place in your hands what is not yet time to bear. You do not see the whole as I do. You see a fragment, while I behold the tapestry of creation. If I gave you what you wanted too soon, it could make you stumble. But when you are ready, what I give will be a great blessing that none can take away. Learn to trust even when you do not understand. Faith is not knowing everything. It is daring to walk through the night, certain that light awaits ahead. There are moments when you feel everything collapsing, plans unraveling, dreams shattered, yet that is when I am tearing down what no longer serves to raise up what is better. You see loss, I see release. You see pain, I see your growth. Like a potter kneading clay, I must press and fold and strike until the earth softens, and only then do I form a beautiful vessel. If I never lay my hands upon you, you remain unshaped clay, but if you yield to my shaping, you become a work that bears the breath of eternity. Do not let your heart be tangled by the voices of the world. They may say that miracles are past, and that God has long been silent, yet you must know I am moving within the smallest rhythms of life. Each breath you draw is proof of my love. Every shaft of sunlight is a message of my presence. Look around you, and a child's smile in dew upon the petal, and a mother's patience in a hand that shares. These are the miracles I work every day, though you often pass them by. A miracle is not always blazing and loud. It may arrive in gentleness and quiet like breath itself, yet it is enough to set your soul trembling. And when your faith feels thin, remember that I once brought water from the rock, raised the dead, stilled the wind, and calmed the sea. I have not changed, only human hearts do. My power is as whole as on the morning of creation. You need only believe, only take one step in the dark, and I will do the rest. Faith is not seeing and then believing. It is believing and then seeing. When your trust holds fast, you will discern my hand in all things, even in losses that seem senseless and in sorrows that feel unbearable. Let my timing run its full course. Let me be your Lord, the one who knows when to open a door and when to close it. There are doors you have knocked upon that do not open because cliffs yawn beyond them. Yet I am opening another for you where light and life in their fullness wait. Be patient in faith, for patience is the highest form of trust. When you choose to believe in the darkest days, I will choose you to bear witness to my light. One day when you look back upon the road you have walked, you will smile through your tears and whisper, "Lord, now I see you were never late." You will recognize that every silence, every delay, every trial was a step in the sacred music I composed for your soul. And when that hymn resounds complete, you will find I was there in every note, every beat, every breath. I am the God of what seemed impossible, the one who brings wonders from ashes, who turns tears into jewels, pain into song, and night into radiant dawn. Only keep believing, child, for it is within faith that you behold the marvels I prepared for you before time began. Do not lose heart when you look around and see others rejoicing amid many blessings while you still stand upon the threshold of waiting. Waiting is not a punishment, but a preparation by which your soul is widened, to welcome what is greater. What you notice in others is but the surface of their canvas. The portion I am painting for you, though now a pale outline in the mist, will appear so vivid and whole that it will take your breath away. I am the one who split the sea for my people to cross on dry ground, who called life to rise from ashes, and these same hands are at work in your life, quietly, patiently, yet never far. Each time you think everything is over, I am poised to begin anew. Each time you imagine I am silent, I am weaving a miracle in the silence, so that when it comes to form, no one can claim it as the labor of human hands. I know there are nights when you kneel in the dark, tears mingling with prayer unknown to anyone on earth. You have asked, "Where are you in the storm?" And yet, my child, I never left. I was there in each trembling breath, in every heartbeat that pressed on when hope seemed spent. Not one of your tears falls in vain. I gather them like precious gems, and from them I will one day water the parched fields within you until they bloom with life and reborn faith. You think yourself forgotten, but I am the one who never forgets. I have engraved your name upon my palms. I know each step you take, each fleeting thought that crosses your mind, for you are not merely a creature. You are a part of my very breath, a fragment of light, born of my own light. When you see others lifted up, do not let envy cloud your heart, for what they receive is theirs, and what is yours is being refined in the furnace of time. I never bestow a blessing in haste. I give only when the soul can bear it without turning gift into burden. I do not wish for you what is small and quickly withered. I desire for you what endures, what once in your hands cannot be taken away. This is why you travel the long road of trial, for it is within hardship that I forge you like gold in the fire. I do not remove every obstacle from your path, for without them you would never discover your true strength. I allow you to stumble, even to fall, yet I do not allow you to be destroyed, because from each fall, a stronger, wiser version of you is born. Do not rush to bitterness when a door closes, for I see the way your eyes have not yet found. When I delay, it is not neglect. It is the careful arranging that brings grace to the right moment in the right place for the right person. I am never late. I choose the perfect instant in which all you have endured finds its meaning. And when that hour arrives, you will understand that every weight, every pain, every prayer that seemed unanswered were threads woven into the robe of glory I have been preparing to place upon you. Doubt will fade for you. Yourself will behold the miracle with your own eyes, a miracle arriving in a way that brings you to your knees in grateful tears. I want you to know that you are guided by a hand wiser than all earthly minds. You look upon scattered pieces and call it chaos. I see the whole and call it design. My ways are higher because I gaze through time. My thoughts are deeper because I know what you need, not merely what you want. If I gave you everything you asked the moment you asked it, you would lose the chance to learn trust. But if you persevere, if you keep faith through the long night, I will give not only what you sought, but also what you never dreamed you were worthy to receive. Those you see rejoicing today have also waited, endured, and walked through nights like yours. Every soul has its season, and your harvest draws nearer than ever. But remember, child, the greatest gift is not what you receive, but who you become along the way. When your heart grows wide enough to love without condition, when you can smile in the tempest and still say, "I believe," then you have touched the kingdom within, where miracles are no longer foreign, but as natural as breath to the soul. I chose you not because you are flawless, but because you are willing to trust without seeing the road. In a world thick with doubt, souls that believe are rare jewels. I have seen the small, steady light within you, a light no storm can extinguish. That light delights me, and for its sake I am preparing a glory you cannot imagine. Do not quarrel with time, for your time is not the world's time. I work in the stillness of the infinite, where everything unfolds at the very moment it is meant to be. Keep walking slowly if you must, but keep faith. Keep sowing the small seeds of kindness, even when the ground is dry and the sky is dim. Keep loving, even if no one seems to love you back, for every act of love is engraved within you. No sacrifice of yours is wasted, no drop of your sweat is forgotten. I see it all, I know it all, and I am using what seems so small to raise a mighty work. When you are weak, remember, I am your strength. When you despair, remember I am your hope. When every door appears shut, remember I am the door no one can lock. My child, do not look at your path as a string of trials. See it as the song of transformation. For after every storm you draw nearer to me, you understand me more, and you understand yourself more. You are being prepared not only to receive blessing, but to become a blessing for others. When I lift you up, it is not to set you above anyone, but so your arms can reach those still falling. This is true glory, not rank or riches, but the power to bring light into dark places, tenderness to barren ground, and trust into despair. One day you will look back and smile, for you will realize I never left you not for a heartbeat. Every silence of mine has been to teach you to listen deeper. Every season of waiting has been to grow you in patience. Every loss has been to show you the worth of what truly deserves to be kept. And when you stand amid the harvest, when the miracle bursts open in your hands, remember this: it is not only a reward, but a witness to my unconditional love. Beloved child, you are a living testimony to what I have declared, that light always overcomes darkness, that faith can move destiny, and that no soul is forgotten who turns its face toward me. Beloved, understand this with your whole heart. When I act, nothing is half done, nothing is random or aimless. All my works are complete, sufficient, and steeped in love. When I bless, I do not measure by the narrow rule of humankind, but by the boundless heart of the Creator. I do not give merely enough to live, but until your soul overflows, until you know what it is to abound in grace, to rest in peace that surpasses understanding. When a miracle happens, it carries my breath within. It bears an unmistakable seal, a sign that I am present in this world, not distant, not silent without meaning, but present with purpose, with tenderness, with power. What I do is never to parade strength, but to awaken in you faith, courage, and gratitude, for every miracle hides a message you have never been abandoned. You have read of me in ancient scripture of days when the blind saw, the lame walked, the dead were raised, and withered hearts found the springtime of grace. You have heard the old stories of wonders that seem to fade into the haze of history. But now, my child, hear me. I am still doing these things. I am still breathing life into souls thought extinguished. I am still turning despair into hope, tears into smiles, ashes into a new dawn. I have never changed, and I will never change. People may break their promises, the world may shift and sway, but my word stands through all ages. Yesterday, I worked wonders today. I am working them still, and tomorrow I will continue. For my nature is love, and miracles are the language of that love. Yet, my child, do not expect miracles always to blaze with dazzling light. At times they come in quiet, like a drop of morning dew upon a leaf, like the sun's warmth slowly dissolving into daybreak. When you do not see me move, do not rush to conclude I have gone. My silence is never absence. It is the hush before the symphony begins. As a potter shaping clay in his hands, I am gently forming your life, refining corners and details you cannot see. You notice scattered fragments. I behold the whole. Every delay, every closed door, every turn that seems senseless, all rests within the perfect design I have appointed for you. Believe that in the silence, I am still at work preparing what is best for you at the rightest time. I know there are nights you weep alone, asking why your prayers seem unanswered, why the waiting is so long and lonely, why I do not speak. Child, I am there beside you in every sigh and every tear. I do not shut my ears to your pleas. I am waiting for the sacred hour when all things align and your heart is strong enough to receive the blessing you have begged for. Given too soon, the good could become a burden. Answered before you are ready, joy could turn into trial. My timing is never wrong. It is as exact as the pulse of the cosmos as the courses of the stars. Trust this, for trust is the key that opens what the eye cannot see. When I seem to delay it, is not indifference. My delay is the road by which you are tempered into strength. I let you pass through storms not to make you fall, but to teach you to stand in the gale. I let you taste loneliness, so you learn the pricelessness of presence. I lead you through dark days so you discover that light is not only outside you but within. Not one tear is wasted. Each waters the seed of faith in your heart that it may sprout and grow. One day when you look back, you will know why I allowed all things to be as they were. You will smile through the scars, for you will see that these very wounds opened in you a new sky, wide, profound, and filled with light. Do not let doubt erode your trust. Doubt is a passing wind. Faith is the steadfast rock. When the wind blows, the rock does not move. It simply stands in silence and bears witness. Be that rock. When you do not see a miracle, that is precisely when the miracle is unfolding within the hidden change of your heart, in the patience you are learning in the way you choose to love, even when you are hurt. I am working wonders in you, not only around you. Every time you choose forgiveness over resentment, hope over despair, the next step over surrender, that is my imprint. Not every miracle is radiant and extraordinary. Sometimes the simplest wonder is that your heart does not collapse, though it has endured so much. One day you will look back and see how every piece has fit together perfectly. You will understand why I did not let you take the shortcut, why I made you wait, why I brought you to your knees in tears, only to raise you with merciful hands. I never will your suffering, yet I know that pain is the fire that refines the soul. Only through flame does gold shine. Only through night does dawn have meaning. And only through loss do you learn to cherish what is given. Then you will no longer fault me for silence, but thank me for slowness. You will see that I never arrive late. I arrive at the perfect moment when your heart is strong enough, your eyes clear enough, your soul deep enough to understand that the truest miracle is not the change of circumstance, but the transformation within you. My child, I am still who I am, the one who once turned water into wine, now turns your fear into faith, your sorrow into hope, your ashes into morning light. Do not fear, do not doubt, for my hand is working in the quiet, and my miracle, stamped with the seal of everlasting love, is drawing nearer than ever. For when I work a miracle for you, beloved soul, you will know that no pain is pointless, and no tear falls without being gathered into my compassionate heart. Every suffering you pass through is not punishment, but shaping a furnace for gold, a hidden hymn of transformation blooming inside your spirit. You once thought your wounds proved your weakness, but I tell you truly, those very wounds are the marks of a chosen journey, the places where the light will enter. When I touch your soul with a miracle, you will look back and see that every grief that once brought you low bore a higher meaning, that in each stumble I sowed the seed of rising, and in every tear I watered the soil of your inner life so that the flowers of truth would bloom in their time. Every disappointment you have carried is not my abandonment, but my quiet redirection, drawing you away from passing roads toward the promised land of grace. I have seen you lift your eyes in the night, whispering a fragile hope that I still hear, that I still see. And I say to you, my small yet brave child, I have never turned my face away. Every cry, every prayer, even the thinnest breath in despair reaches my throne. No sound from your heart falls into the void. All is kept in the sacred treasury of my mercy, awaiting the fullness of time. You have begged for change, pleaded for a breakthrough, asked for a sign that I have not forgotten you, and now I answer, I have heard, not with ears alone, but with the very heart that formed you. I know what you have borne. I know your silent struggles. I know you believed even when faith was a faint ember, in the longest night. But my child, that small glimmer is enough for me to set a whole sky ablaze. Do not fear if you do not yet see the wonder, for my miracles seldom arrive with thunder or lightning. They come in quiet like a seed pushing through cold earth, like dawn after the deepest dark. You do not know that while you thought you were waiting, I was at work. What you called delay was the perfect preparation for the appointed hour. My child, you are nearer to your miracle than you think. It is not far away. It has been moving toward you day by day, through each trial, through each step that felt so futile. Like a river winding and turning at last finds the sea, so will your life, through all its wanderings, find what I have promised. When you feel spent, when your heart is heavy with hope deferred, remember that the miracle is not merely the outcome but the process, the quiet transformation within you, the maturing of your soul through every storm. Be patient, for what is greatest always takes time to take form. As gold passes through fire, so your spirit passes through testing to shine. Each time you endure in silence, you draw nearer to union with me, for suffering is the language love uses to shape the chosen. I know you are tired. I know there are nights when your head bends low and you feel as though your prayers have vanished into an empty sky. But I pledge to you, not one prayer is wasted. Each prayer is a lamp you light, and I am gathering them to illumine the path ahead. When the moment comes, you will understand that yesterday's tears were the rain that watered tomorrow's garden of grace. I have prepared the miracle, and nothing can stop its coming, for it is the promise I have written in my own light. Believe, my child, not with the ease of fair weather, but amid the storm. Hold steady when all seems to fall apart, for in that very hour the foundation of the new is being laid. When every door closes, I am opening another way, a way seen only by souls that trust. Keep moving, even if only by the smallest steps, for each step taken in faith declares that you still choose the light. And when I perform the miracle, you will see it was never that I arrived late, but that you were being led at the perfect time. Everything has an appointed time, and yours has come. I have arranged for you to arrive where you must arrive, to meet whom you must meet, and to learn the lesson you must understand. The years that seemed lost were in fact part of the design, where I quietly shaped your soul so you would be strong enough to receive the greatness now approaching. Open your heart, my child, for a miracle is not only an outward change, but a new birth within the place where you will love more, forgive more deeply, and live more fully into the purpose I have ordained. And when it comes, you will no longer feel small in the midst of the world, but see that I have never left you for even a moment. You will understand why I let you weep, why I was silent, why you had to traverse so many steep and winding turns. For all of it leads to this moment when you look back and say that everything which once brought you pain was worth it. The miracle is not merely that you receive what you ask for, but that you become a new soul, stronger, deeper, and nearer to me than ever before. My child, lift your head and walk on. The miracle is no longer somewhere far away. It is beating with your heart, waiting for you to open your hands and receive it. And when you recognize this, you will know that what I promise always stands, and that my love has never faded, not for an instant, in the span of eternity. I am shaping your story to be light in the darkness, a living testimony to my love and power, that through you the faith of many hearts would be awakened and a flame of hope be kindled. You may have thought yourself forgotten in the vast current of life, that your efforts and sorrows went unseen, but you were wrong. You are not forgotten. You are chosen. From the midst of trial I have seen in you a heart that endures, a soul that can shine for those still wandering. No step of yours is meaningless, and no tear falls without my knowing. You are not overlooked. You are being set in the right place, at the right time, on the right path. What seems random in your life is in truth each stroke of a design I have laid with care. My hand has been upon you from the beginning. When you did not yet know the name of faith, I was already whispering into your heart dreams beyond your reach. When you strayed, I did not abandon you. When you collapsed, I still guided you through the dark along roundabout roads you could not yet understand. I do not rush or coerce. I simply wait with patience for the day you see that what you counted as loss was the turning of grace. Perhaps for now you cannot see the whole picture. Perhaps you hold only a few broken pieces, and to your tired eyes, everything feels scattered and without meaning. But believe that each piece, no matter how small or sorrowful, is joining together within the perfect plan I have ordained for your life. Every upheaval, every delay, every rejection you once resented is quietly contributing to a wonder about to be revealed. I am moving in silence. I am aligning hearts, stirring circumstances, and setting in motion unseen forces the eye cannot perceive. You do not realize it, but every step you take is upheld by my hand. Each encounter, each door that closes, each opportunity that seems to slip away, these are preparations, the steady rhythm leading to the moment I am about to open something for you that is worthy beyond measure. I am weaving your story with the thread of time, and when you look back, you will see every strand fitting perfectly in a way only I could arrange. When the door opens, it will not creak ajar as you imagine. It will swing wide in a sudden burst, like light piercing the night, like spring arriving after a long and weary winter. And when the blessing comes, it will come faster than you can imagine, not because you hurried after it, but because that hour has long been appointed in my will. Your waiting has not been in vain. It has been the quiet in which your heart grew deep, your faith grew large, and you became able to receive the fullness of grace when it arrives. That blessing will come with such perfection that you will doubt no more. You will know with your whole soul and every cell in your being that only I could have orchestrated it. Every harmony, every meeting of lives, every opportunity arriving at the exact moment will affirm that I am at work. It is not chance. It is my faithfulness to my promise. I never forget what I have spoken, and I always complete what I begin. Be patient a little longer, beloved child whom I am training in silence. When you think everything is falling apart, I am in fact arranging it into a higher order. When you feel isolated, I am drawing you away from the noise so you can hear my call more clearly. When you feel yourself slowed, it is not delay, but preparation for a leap you never thought possible. Remember, my grace does not move by your timetable, but by the rhythm of eternity. I do not arrive early, nor do I arrive late. I come precisely when your heart is ready to believe, to receive, and to become. And when that time comes, all things will join like a completed symphony, every note with meaning, every rest with purpose, and every resonance praising my power. Do not be quick to doubt the worth of the weary years. It is the long days in shadow that make the light blaze brighter when it breaks forth. The wounds that seemed unhealed have softened and deepened your heart, making it strong enough to share in the pain of others. I am teaching you to be a witness to the light, not by words alone, but by your very life. Each step you take, each scar you carry, becomes proof of my unwavering love and of the power that can turn sorrow into blessing. One day you will tell your story not with the choked voice of one long suffering, but with the clear gaze of one who has seen a miracle. Then others will see in you not merely someone who endured trial, but a lamp set ablaze to guide many souls. That light is not your own. It is mine reflected through you. And in the moment you realize this, you will understand that every hardship, every lost way, every turn that seemed pointless was only my way of composing a hymn through your life. Therefore, do not be troubled when you cannot see the whole road. Do not fear when the present is still veiled. Keep walking in the trust that I am at work, even when you cannot feel it. When you lift your eyes in the night, remember that the stars shine only when darkness gathers. I am making your story a light in the darkness, a torch forged from tears, tempered by patience, and blazing through faith. You are the proof that darkness cannot overcome light, that faith can rise from despair, that my love is stronger than every dividing wall. And when you understand this, when you live in that awareness, you will no longer be merely rescued. You will become one sent to kindle hope again in hearts grown dim. You will no longer ask why me, but will smile and say, "Thank you that I was chosen." Because, beloved child, I have never ceased working in your life. Every moment, every change, every breath is being used by me to write a story of light in your story, and yet mine as well, a story that will move hearts that long for faith and show the world that within all that seems broken there is always a hand quietly guiding, rebuilding, and making all things exceedingly good. My child, do not let your heart grow weary in days that feel endless. Waiting is not neglect, nor is it punishment. It is a sacred season in which your soul is shaped, where the seed of faith is sown in silence. Every tear you shed I receive. They do not vanish in vain, but sink into the soil of destiny, preparing a radiant harvest whose hour only I know. In the nights you feel alone, when every prayer seems to fly off without an answer. When your heart feels bare in the void, know that in that very moment I am closest to you. I never abandon you in the dark. I am forming your soul as a potter lovingly smooths each line upon the clay, that your heart might be wide and steady enough to hold what is magnificent and near. Do you know, sometimes I allow you to break, not to destroy you, but to renew your foundations. You are not shattered, you are being remade. Every loss, every pain, every tear is a stone. I lay in the work of building you into your truest self, the one I envisioned from the dawn of your days. I do not create ruins to afflict you. I remove what is worn and fragile, so I can raise what is stronger and more radiant. You think something is taken from you, but truly I am freeing you from what no longer serves the light within you. And there will come a time, my child, when you look back and understand why I made you wait. You will see that the doors I closed were not rejection, but protection. My no's were not refusals. They were yeses on a higher plane in a form you could not yet discern. When you wept for losing what you thought was best, I smiled, knowing I was reserving for you something far more wondrous, for which you were not yet ready. I never take without intending to give back in abundance. Your waiting has never been meaningless. It is the most essential part of the miracle. For the miracle is found not only in the outcome, but in the journey where you held to faith when everything urged you to let go. Do not limit your expectations, my beloved child. I am not the one who gives sparingly. When I bless, I pour out to overflowing beyond what you can contain until the blessing spills from you and reaches those around you. When I heal, I do not patch wounds. I make your whole being new. When I restore, I do not return you to what once was. I lift you to a higher place. My favor is not merely sufficient. It is abundant. You are not only delivered from pain, you are transformed through it. Pain is no longer a scar of injury, but a witness to the power of love. Do not be afraid if the miracle does not arrive in the way you hoped. I do not work as you imagine, for if you could trace all my ways, you would have no need of faith. I move in silence in the smallest details, in turns that seem accidental. When you think nothing is happening, that is when I am working most mightily. Trust that everything you endure, every seeming delay, rests within my perfect design. When I say come, the sea must part the rock, must give water, and the shut door must swing wide. But before that hour I must clear your heart of fear, doubt, and bitterness, so that light may freely take its seat within you. O child, your faith is the seed that has brought you this far. It is the key that opens heaven in the midst of the earth. When you choose to believe before you see, you touch my heart. When you choose to love though wounded, you reflect my image. When you choose to wait though everything screams it is too late, you compose a song only courageous souls can sing. That very faith will open the heavens for you, causing miracles to pour down like the first rains upon a parched field. And when that rain comes, not only will you be revived, the lives of all who have touched yours will be refreshed as well. I do not desire that you be only a receiver of blessing, child, but a channel of it. You will not only be filled, you will become a current. I am preparing you to be a spring where thirsty souls can find life. You will speak my words, act with my hands, and love with my heart. Every step you take will press the imprint of grace into the earth. When you forgive, when you help, when you are patient with others, you are letting my river run through you. And the more you give, the fuller you become, for my blessing never runs dry. Do not forget that I am not preparing you merely for what you desire, but for what you have never dared to dream. I have not called you to a common life, but to be living proof of miracle in the midst of the world. When people look at you, they will see me not in perfection, but in the way you rise after every fall, in the gentle radiance of a faith that does not waver. One day, when the season of waiting closes and the promise is made complete, you will understand that all I have done, every delay, every closed door, every tear, was part of a larger, lovelier, deeper miracle, 1,000 times greater than anything you ever asked. You will see that I was never silent. I was singing a song your soul needed time to learn. Then you will lift your voice with mine, no longer with fear, but with a profound thanksgiving. Beloved child, stand firm. Your season of waiting is nearly past. Dawn is rising and I am drawing near. All that you have believed, all that you have hoped, all that you have guarded with tears I will bring to bloom. And not for you alone, but for multitudes through you. For you are not only one who is blessed, you are the blessing I am sending into the world. Etch this upon your heart. Faith is not merely a promise or beautiful words spoken before a crowd, but a quiet, enduring power, the living breath of the soul in its darkest hours. Faith is not saying you believe. It is daring to walk when you cannot see the way. It is not serenity only under clear skies. It is steadfastness when storms rise and nothing remains to hold but me. You have done this, you have trusted me, not with lips but with your whole heart, with every breath, with the steadiness of days and months, without an answer. When reason told you to surrender, you kept believing. When others withdrew, you knelt and whispered, my name. When the world said I was silent, you knew I was listening. Because of this, child, I will not allow such faith to be in vain. I will lift you out of every ash of the past, out of memories that whisper you are unworthy, out of fears that bound you in quiet. I will set you in a higher place where light shines straight into the soul, where you are no longer merely one who endured, but one reborn. You will rise not as before, but like gold refined in fire, bright and pure, beyond anything you have known. I will astonish those who once looked on you with pity, for you will no longer be the tale of pain, but the living proof of transformation when a soul trusts itself wholly to me. You will carry my light, and wherever you go, darkness will retreat. Those who have lost hope will look upon you and remember that miracles still exist, that faith still moves mountains, that in this world there are those who live by the soul and not by the flesh alone. But know this, child, what I am about to do will not arrive as you imagine. It will come suddenly like lightning, cleaving the night sky, like a spring bursting forth in the heart of a barren desert. You will not have time to prepare, for miracles need no human preparation. They require only a soul ready to receive. What I intend for you will not come from the places you expect, nor through the people you thought would help. For if I used them, you might think they were the answer. I want you to know that I alone am the source of every blessing. I will open doors you never considered, doors you did not dare to knock upon because you believed they were locked. But no door can be barred against my hand. I will open them that you may enter, and beyond them will be a land of abundance, of peace, of joy, no thief can steal. The blessing I am preparing for you will not arrive late. It will run after you, find you and surround you, not because you are fortunate, but because your faith has stirred the heavens. You do not know that each time you chose trust over fear, forgiveness over resentment, love over closed-heartedness, I saw it. I counted every small act and received it as a silent prayer. Now as the hour ripens, every seed of faith is breaking soil and stretching into a harvest no power can hinder. You will watch the turning come so swiftly that you will exclaim, "This is truly the hand of God." What seemed lost will return in greater splendor. What seemed dead will rise in multiplied strength. What seemed distant will appear so near that you will bow in wonder. Therefore, child, let not fear take root in your heart. Fear is the night that hides faith's light, the whisper that makes you forget I am still at work. Let not doubt steal your expectation, for when expectation dies, you unwittingly close the door at which the miracle knocks. Keep your heart wide like the sea welcoming dawn. Keep your spirit awake to recognize my signs, for I speak through what you call chance. Every word of faith you utter, every act you perform in trusting obedience, is a seed I use to plant fields of blessing. Do not think your words vanish into the air. They rise, mingle with the breath of heaven, and return clothed in goodness. Continue to speak words of faith. Even when your eyes see no result for words of faith, call miracles awake from their sleep. When you say, I believe, you open a path through the abyss. When you say, I know, you are working, you lay the first stone of a bridge over despair. And when you persist in saying, I give thanks, though I have not yet seen you sow golden seed in your own ground, and soon the harvest will blaze with light. A miracle is not something I suddenly hurl from the high heavens. It is the flowering of faith. Child, I am acting in ways your eyes have not yet perceived. When you think nothing is happening, all things are being arranged in silence. I am moving mountains you thought immovable. I am rewriting the story you thought had ended. Your answer is not merely on its way, it has begun. The unexpected you await is not far, it is taking form. You will see that everything which once confused you, pained you, or drew tears from your eyes has been ordered to lead you to this hour of glory. When it comes, you will not ask why any longer, for you will understand that every turn had its purpose, every loss contained a seed of life, and every delay was timed perfectly so that the glory might be complete. And when that hour arrives, I want you to remember, do not only receive, radiate. Be a living witness for souls who wander. Tell them that miracles are not mere tales, but truth. You yourself are the evidence. You will speak of your journey of faith, of the nights you prayed, without reply, of the mornings you rose still choosing to believe, and of the moment the miracle came when you least expected it. For I desire to use your very life as a mirror for the faint-hearted, so they may know I still act, I still keep, my word I still love. My beloved child, I saw you when you had nothing left but faith, and it moved me. I watched you wage your battle not by force but by steadfastness in silence. Now I will reward that faith. Every tear will turn to joy. Every loss will be repaid with abundance. Every waiting will end in a gladness you have never known. Prepare your heart, for your dawn is coming, not a pale glimmer, but the radiant light of a new day after the storm. When you behold it, you will know, my hand has done this, not because you begged enough, but because I love you enough to do what none dared think possible. Now, child, take courage. Keep the lamp of faith burning, for a single spark can scatter the night. I have heard, I have seen, and I am coming. All that you have longed for is in motion. Every gear of destiny is sliding into place, and when the final click of the lock is heard, you will stand in the light of the very miracle you believed. Believe, for the hour draws nearer than ever, the hour when you will no longer say, I believe in miracles, but with tear-bright eyes and a kindled heart, I am living in your miracle. Gather your whole heart as a sailor draws his rigging taut before the great wind, for the moment is so near, it is but a heartbeat away. Do not let the weariness of a long road choke the breath of hope within you. I act suddenly like lightning across the night, yet that suddenness is not chance. It is the instant when all the threads I have stitched through your years pull closed at once, turning scraps into a garment of glory. Keep the oil in your lamp, so when the knock sounds in the quiet, you are not fumbling for a match. Keep praising even when your throat is dry as desert. Keep trusting when reason says there is nothing left to hold. Keep expecting when the clock seems still. For where your eyes cannot see, the heavens are moving like a finely made engine of stars. The latch is lifting, the pins are drawing back, the road is opening straight from where you stand to the land of promised grace. Do not let your steps falter at the threshold of breakthrough. Sometimes one more breath and the mountain splits, the sea divides. I know your heart trembles with the fatigue of waiting, but precisely when muscle quivers to surrender, new strength is poured like a spring from the rock, and you rise not by your own force but by my power that never fails. Set your inner house in order like a steward before the arrival of an honored guest. Clear away needless worries. Throw the windows wide for light to flood in. Set a small table of gratitude. Lay out the bread of obedience and the wine of hope. Do not let doubt slip in like a thief stalking the night. It always chooses the hour of your weariness to whisper lies. Answer doubt with the memory of the times I rescued you. Remind your mind how often a story curved to a better chapter when you thought it was the end. Train your heart to steadiness through small things, a word of thanks in a busy day, a kind choice when ease seems tempting, a quiet moment in place of impulse. These little acts are the paving stones where miracle sets its feet for great blessing, seeks the places already set in good order, as the finest seed seeks soil well turned and richly kept. And child, do not mistake silence for abandonment. Silence is the birthing room where the new takes shape. In that soundless chamber, I am breathing over your dreams, strengthening the sinews of your hope, and measuring the robe of triumph, so that when you put it on, it will fit the glory prepared for you. I want you to know this. The miracle that is approaching is not the wavering patchwork, half-measure kind. It comes whole abundant, pouring like a flood in the season of high waters. It will not be delayed by human timetables, nor restrained by narrow calculations. When it arrives, old wounds will cease to bleed, old questions will stop, their circling old fears will turn into a launching pad. I do nothing for show, nor do I set something great in motion and abandon it midway. What bears my signature always carries 3 seals: purpose, perseverance, and peace. Purpose lets you see the road before you and why you must walk it. Perseverance makes the blessing abide and not flare up only to vanish. Peace steadies you amid the surrounding clamor without panic. Yet to receive, you must also open your heart beyond its old molds at times. I grant exactly what you ask by name, but often I give what you never named yet is precisely what you need. Do not box the miracle into cramped imaginings. Yield to my ordering according to the sight of the one who sees the end from the beginning. For what you call not yet is often the very moment I am meshing the gears of destiny, so that when the movement begins, nothing can hinder it. My child, from this day practice the language of a future already fulfilled. Speak as one who has received. Give thanks as one who already cradles the outcome live, as one who has left the harbor of anxiety. You are not pretending. You are standing in the true position of faith where the present begins to learn from the reality I have ordained. Redraw the map within your heart. Mark the places where I have passed by and rescued. You note the cairns I have raised, to remind you that every desert holds a well. Look at the doors once shut with eyes that have grown. You will see those hinges loosened, those bars worn thin, awaiting only the lightest touch of a sacred timing to swing wide. With your next breath touching the air, I can turn the wind. The boat that once pitched without direction will suddenly find a favorable breeze to fill its sails, and the long drifting days will become a voyage toward safe harbor. Do not be surprised when things unfold swiftly. I have prepared long, only to act quickly in a single moment. The seed lying still all winter is not dead but storing strength. In season it breaks the ground and rises after a single night of rain. And when the wonder arrives, receive it with the gentleness and fidelity of a good steward. Do not waste it. Do not grow proud. Do not turn a blessing into evidence of self-importance. Let it become a river that waters the fields around you. Tell your story to those who tremble on the threshold as you do today, so they may know that waiting is not in vain. Tears are never squandered, and not yet is the mooring line keeping the boat from shattering on the rocks. Use what you receive to unlock others. The door you pass through will become a broad way for many feet. This is my joy, to astonish the faithful, and then make them bridges for the miracles to come. You will look back and understand why I made you wait. Wait to make you steady. Wait to deepen you. Wait to teach you, to prize what is given. Wait so you would have the words to tell of my kindness. Then you will see your name inscribed in the annals of wonders from the dawn of creation, not by accident but by intention, not by merit but by grace. Now it is your turn, not because you are perfect, but because I am faithful. Be ready, as earth is ready for rain, as a vessel is ready for new wine, for I am about to startle you in ways beyond all imagining, not only for your rejoicing, but so the world may see and know there is one who never arrives late, never leaves the work half done, never lets true hope sift into ashes. And in the very next beat, as you draw a deep breath, call my name with gratitude, for then you will hear within, it has come to pass. My child, the word I spoke is fulfilled. Now, my child, lift up your prayer to me, with all your heart, with an unshaken faith, and with the breath of a soul turned toward the eternal light. Almighty God, I kneel before your majesty amid the wounds and trials I have passed through. I recognize that every suffering is no longer a burden, but your hand shaping me into wholeness. Pour out your grace so I may grasp the sacred meaning of each tear and each disappointment that once seemed wasted. I know that not a single groan of mine is forgotten, for you have heard, you have seen, and you are acting within the great silence. Help me to trust when I cannot see, to be brave when strength is gone, that I may go on with a gentle heart and a soul alight with faith. Beloved Father, many times I have been exhausted on the long road, many times I have doubted the very light within my heart. Yet now I see that in the bleakest moments, you were whispering within me, telling me I was nearer to my miracle than ever before. Grant me eyes to behold the wondrous in the small hands, to receive both sorrow and joy with gratitude. Make my soul a mirror of your kindness, that all who meet me may perceive the boundless love alive in this world. Lord, I thank you, for in the days I thought you were silent, you were at work in the depths of time. Thank you for teaching me patience, for teaching me to believe without proof and to love without condition. I give thanks that turns in the road which seemed hopeless became the very path that led me back to you. Father, I give you thanks not only for the great things, but for every breath, every dawn, every tear transfigured into blessing. Thank you for showing me that the miracle is not far off, but within the heart, renewed day by day. I praise you for not letting me collapse when I thought I could no longer stand. I offer this prayer in the holy name of Jesus Christ. Amen. Do not forget to subscribe and turn on notifications so that together we may build a strong community of faith.